So today you take all of these medications after you say you got finasteride from a telehealth company.
Correct.
In his late 20s, Alex Milam, a pharmacy student, began noticing his hairline receding. So he sought out finasteride, commonly used for hair loss treatment.
So did you speak with a doctor? Did you see a doctor?
I never saw a doctor. And I only spoke to a doctor via like a patient portal type situation. So I never spoke on the phone.
Milam went online seeking a prescription from a direct-to-consumer telehealth company, Keeps.
And I basically entered my name and my personal information. I answered about 12-question quiz, and then they get back to you pretty quickly. This is Dr. So-and-so, and I've deemed the fact that you have male pattern baldness, and we can start your treatment pretty much right here and right now.
But Milam says after over a year and a half on the medication.
So the first thing that I noticed one day was I basically woke up and I realized that my genitals had gone somewhat numb.
He gradually developed sexual dysfunction, insomnia, and anxiety. His symptoms growing so severe, he took a leave of absence from school.
I've never actually heard of anyone starting that medication that early. They start finasteride on men as young as 18.
I also see generate AI response.
Right.
Milam says he reached out to his telehealth provider, but replies were unhelpful. So he kept taking finasteride and ultimately was diagnosed by a different doctor with a rare condition, post-finasteride syndrome. Today, that medication and others remain widely marketed by direct-to-consumer telehealth companies, which make money by charging patients directly for virtual consultations, subscription plans, and medication sales. Unlike traditional healthcare providers, which have strict medical advertising regulations, they can directly market to consumers.
Join us in the fight for a healthier America.
There are plenty of men that I see in my clinic that have gone on to have telehealth experiences, and they're coming to me with really serious issues.
Urologist Jesse Mills says while the companies are efficient, without consistent in-person medical attention, patients risk care that misses the mark.
At the end of the day, if the goal of telehealth platform that you're on is to sell something to you, then that's the wrong platform.
Several of these companies now face multiple lawsuits and probes.
Today, medications from direct-to-consumer telehealth companies can be accessed online fairly quickly. Right now, I'm trying to see if I can get a GLP-1 from one company. I spoke with my doctor, and based on my weight and medical history, they say GLP-1s would not be an appropriate first line of treatment for someone like me. But let's see what happens when I put my information in.
In just minutes, I got the green light for a variety of medications, including one for epilepsy, which can be used off-label for weight loss. While more consumers turn to these companies for their medications, former users like Alex Milam warn of the risks. The now 32-year-old is back in pharmacy school, hoping his studies will one day help him find a cure for post-finasteride syndrome.
How did it feel to realize that you had something with no cure?
No, there's no words, really. Just there's nothing.
30 Madison, the parent company of Keeps that Milam initially used to obtain his prescription, did not respond to multiple requests for comment.
If someone was considering using a telehealth company to acquire a drug, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, is it worth your life? Is it worth, if whatever you're trying to get, say a specific drug for, but especially a hair loss drug, is it worth your hair? I don't think so.
All right, Zinclay Esamoah joins us now in studio. So, Zinclay, I want to go back to that moment in your story where you tried to get one of these medications. It was a GLP-1, I believe, but the one you got was off-label, also used to treat seizures. What did the company say when you brought this to them?
Absolutely. So filled out those forms looking for a GLP-1. Ultimately, they offered me a medication kit featuring a variety of medications, including one used for seizures and epilepsy. I don't have either of those conditions. When I followed up and asked for a GLP-1, that doctor said it does not look like you meet the criteria to be prescribed those medications. But notably, when we tried another website, it actually said I was an ideal candidate, that I could lose 30 pounds in a year. All I needed to do was a simple blood test. Our experience and that of our character really highlighting the range and lack of regulation of a lot of these platforms.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.